Hey there, it's Nathalie. I have another cheap, fast, and easy Dollar Tree project. This little Christmas stocking made with 2 placemats and a car wash piece of furry stuff. Anyway, thank you for coming. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome. If this is your first time, be sure you like, subscribe, hit that little bell for notifications, share me with your friends. Anyway, this is like $3. Seriously, to make this. Oh, we'll add in some tax, but of course there's always tax. Anyway, it's a super easy project with the sewing machine, and let's not waste any more time and get. Because it's like already almost Christmas time, so we better hurry because it's going to be here like any second now. All right, let's get started. For this project, you need to download the pattern or find you a Dollar Tree Christmas stocking and just cut one yourself. Use that. That's $1, so it's not a big deal. I'm not selling it. It's a freebie. You can subscribe to my hall closet and download it for free. Also, I found these 2 really cool placemats at the Dollar Tree. Of course, black and white buffalo plaid. And this is a car wash towel. It's nice and fuzzy. I'm going to use that for the cuff. So they have some of them that are not quite so fuzzy. This one is nice and fuzzy. There you can see the texture of it. Cut out your pieces, and then I left a little bit of paper at the bottom of this just so that it's just not just like the 2 pieces taped straight together all by themselves. Just whatever kind of tape you want to use to tape that together. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and put this pretty straight on here. Let me scoot this over a little bit, and then that way I'll have a little bit bigger spot in case I need to do something else with this. Because this is buffalo plaid, I'm going to do one at a time because I want to match my plaids. Unmatched plaids kind of just like, yeah, don't know what to tell you about that. Anyway, and this is pretty stiff, so I don't need to put a whole lot of pins in here. There's a 1/4 inch seam already allowed for you. Okay, because I'm working with buffalo plaid, I'm going to take this off, set it to the side, and I'm going to use this as my pattern. And you can see that there's some places where that plaid lines up across here. And so I'm going to flip this. This is right on this little edge right here. So scoot that down just a little bit. That's right on that edge. I'm matched up here. I'm matched here. You don't have to get real like persnickety about that, but I really, especially these that are going across this way, I really like for that to match. At least pretty close. Alright. This one, because it's fused, is not going to, it's not going to make a lining, and that's okay because it's not going to ravel out because of this fusing that's on here. Besides, you're probably going to use this for decorative stuff only. I would guess you could actually use it and stuff it. So I'm going to cut this one out now that I have my plaids matched. I didn't say this, but I need to say this in case you use another kind of fabric, but you're going to want to put pretty sides together, okay? I'm going to cut one for my loop, and so I've just kind of, you could go like to the end of this buffalo plaid, but I've just kind of put this middle-ish right in the middle of that little design right there. It doesn't matter, but and I want to get off of that seam that's over here because that's kind of thick. Evidently what they did is they stitched it together and then they fused it. To get rid of some of the bulk in the loop or the little hanger, let me see if this will work. Okay. That's good. And so then what I'll do is I'll fold this in half, and then fold this in half again, like that, and that will get my loop, like that. The next step is the cuff part. So you're going to take this, now it's got what I discovered once I opened this up. This is really nice, soft, fleecy, kind of fuzzy, almost lamb's woolly looking. On the inside, it is a lower pile, a lower nap. Anyway, so I think, let's see if this is going to be wide enough this way. Okay, I've pinned this in place, and I'm going to use this little edge at the bottom, so because I'm going to kind of hot glue it under. Anyway, I don't have to deal with so much fuzzy stuff of having cut two pieces, two edges. I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to set my stitch length just about a medium on my machine. It's like a 3.5, and I'm going to go right to the edge of my presser foot, which should be just about that 1/4 inch seam. I've got it done in white so you can see. I have it stitched all around, but in this little curve right here, I want to clip in just a little bit so it will turn nicely. Make sure that I don't clip my stitches. Just be careful. And then also on the curve of the toe and the heel, just clip in. Just about any time you have a curved line of stitching, you want to do this. Don't clip your stitches. You can always go back and re-sew it if you do clip your stitches. So since this is kind of puffy, because it's fused, 2 layers fused together, no lining, we'll see how this is going to turn out. Turn this right side out. And now we have it turned right side out, and by clipping that little curve there, that made that turn real nicely. And even in the heel, let's look at my matching on my plaids, just because I'm kind of weird that way. Anyway, okay, so now let's make the loop. We're going to stitch right on the edge on both sides to make this little loop. I have the cuff pinned with the right sides together. This real fuzzy side is to the inside. So that's my right side. Got it together. And again, I'm going to do just a little 1/4 inch seam for that. There we go. Do a little back stitch. Folded the loop in half, and I've pinned it to the center back. There's the toe there, around the back. This is in the center back, and I've opened up the seam and put a pin in there. This is pretty thick. You could use a piece of ribbon if you find that this is going to be too thick. You could just get a little piece of black ribbon or white ribbon or whatever color ribbon you want to put in there, because we're still going to have the fur on top of that. So this is a heavy-duty machine, and I'm just going to kind of walk this to get it started. It looks like it's going to hold it just fine. And stitch over it just fine. Just like that. This is going to seem like it's not really right, but I have the fluffy side to the outside, like this. And I'm going to pin, this is the center front. And so what it is going to be the fluffy side, the right side of the fluffy fabric to the wrong side of the stocking. So when you turn this, then it's going to put that fluffy side to the surface. Okay? So the right side of the cuff to the wrong side of the inside of the stocking. And I've got it the halfway here, right there at that loop. Going to put a little pin here. Open up that stitch. And because this little fleecy stuff is kind of stretchy, I'm just going to make sure that I've got that fullness eased in, so I'm not like stretching it all out of place or getting a bunch of puckers in there. See how much that? And so I'm just going to kind of ease that in a little bit and pin it in place all the way around. I'm not going to start on one of the seams. I'm going to start over here on the side, and I'm just going to kind of go slow and make sure I get this fed in there good. 1/4 inch seam. Don't run over the pins. And I'm coming up on that really thick spot. Make sure I stay on my stocking. All right, let's see how this looks. There it is on the inside. Let's flip this to the outside. There's our loop to hang our little stocking with, like that. Now, you could finish this a couple of ways. You could leave it just like this with this little cuff down, just like that. Or you could, and I love the way that that turns and finishes to the inside. Or you could do a little, turn this under and do a little hand stitch, or you could do a little row of hot glue to finish this. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to do this, but I think that turned out pretty sweet. And I'm going to hand stitch this. Anyway, you probably know how to do a glue gun, so I've just got a single strand of thread going through, just regular old sewing thread, going through this kind of a medium-sized needle. And now you could, if you want to, pin this in place. I'm just going to turn this down, this one where that seam is, so it's about 1/4 inch under, and make sure that I've got this about where I want that. I'm going to bury my, and with this fur it's going to be easy to bury your stitch there. And I'm just going to do a little whip stitch. It doesn't have to have, because it's not going to be worn or anything like that, it's not going to have a lot of pressure on it. So I'm just dipping into that buffalo plaid fabric and then coming up and catching a little stitch in the edge of the fur. Right like that. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project. Be sure, again, like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share me with your friends, and I will see you next time for our next project. Bye-bye.